Well, joining me now to speak more on this is Margaret Ogundano, a former Deputy Director of the CBN. Thank you for joining us on the news. Now, were you expecting a change in monetary policy rate, especially since inflation rate has declined in 3 consecutive months?
Thank you for having me. I want to say that I wasn't expecting that the benchmark rate, which is also known as the MPR, that is the monetary policy rate at 11.5%, will not have changed. Why I'm saying this, I don't know where you got those factuals that the inflation rate has moderated down. In principle, we still have a lot of inflationary trends, depending on which segment of the market in the Nigerian economy you are looking at. But be that as it may, when you look at those facts you also gave us, that the CRR retained at 27.5, liquidity ratio 30%, the central bank would not have increased the MPR rate given many circumstances. Many circumstances, by that I mean in our society today. In the first instance, the MPR at 11.5% is a benchmark rate. And now, look at the food security problem. Many a times you go to the market, prices of food items have changed. So we have what is known as implicit inflation, which is also different from the official inflation. Implicit inflation can be driven, for instance, by the foreign exchange, the transactions, the pressure on the naira can be a fact in driving implicit inflation. That is on goods and services. So if central bank decided to retain the MPR at 11.5%, it has areas where that won't apply, and that is likely to check the level of liquidity in the system. And there's no liquidity really, because there's implicit inflation dangling there, especially with respect to consumables in the Nigerian economy.
Oh, okay, so from the monetary policy rate, how do you also see this new directive on sales of FOREX impacting the foreign exchange market?
Unfortunately, it's going to put more pressure on the naira, because those of them at the BDC, that is at that segment, consumers or people who need dollars, when you get to the bank, the banks may not have. Why? Because at the bank, the rate is usually official. The alignment between the rate you get in the bank and the one you get at the BDCs, I mean, talking as somebody who, let's say we want to go and buy $1, they will sell it to you at 503 or 500 naira. But in the bank, they will sell it to you at that rate, but it may not be available. Why? Because of the shortages of the foreign exchange earnings by the nation. And that one is informed first by the global problems starting with the pandemic, which we've been having since 2019. And secondly, when you have that, the declining sales, the declining preferences, the declining sales of the oil, of the Nigerian oil at the international market means it has a cascading impact on the revenue derivable to the government. So there's no forex. So government is not earning enough foreign exchange to satisfy the yearnings at the local level. So if they are banning it, that is, they are going to stop selling to the BDC operators, I think it may have a very inflationary impact, shall I say. It will increase the pressure on the naira, and that means to get the dollar will be a little bit more difficult than what we have now.
You're very correct. You were really correct. Former Deputy Director of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Margaret Ogundano, thank you very much for joining us on the news.